Hello, beautiful people. We're all welcome to my YouTube channel. You're all welcome to Reflections from the Scroll. You're welcome to today's episode, this week's episode of Reflections from the Scroll. This is our very second edition. The first edition was a huge success, I would say. I had 30 views. Thank you, y'all. Thank you. Thank you so much. And I would also like to encourage us to please stick with us on this channel. I promise to always dish out, interesting, edifying contents, you know, you know. Yes, so thank you very much, everyone. So today we'll be moving on to the next topic, and like I, announced on my Instagram page, it's a very trivial topic. It's a topic that needs to be talked about. I try to channel my discussions to how it affects the society, and this particular topic affects the society so much. And I'll be talking about addiction. Addiction. Your addiction is a very serious issue in our society today. And while doing my research, something I found out kind of it appeared kind of very interesting to me, and I just wonder if anybody knows that the word addiction was actually coined from a Latin word that means enslaved or bound to. That is very shocking. That is very striking. Enslaved. And if you look at it in the real sense, that is what it is. It involves craving, excessive craving for a particular thing, and misuse, inappropriate use of it, and continuous attachment, like the person continues to use it despite the adverse effect it has on that individual. That is addiction, y'all. And it's so painful. Like, I found out that even the Institute of Mental Health has, said that addiction is actually mental illness, because it starts by, affecting the brain so much so that it affects the way the brain registers pleasure, and gently starts going into the other part, affecting the individual's normal life. So such a person is not able to maintain appropriate relationship. It affects schooling, it affects your work life, it affects your relationship, it affects family and everything. It just finds a way to break the normal. Yo, the particular type of addiction I'm going to be looking at today will be drug abuse, alcohol, drug abuse, substance abuse, and sexual addiction. Now, we find in our society today a lot of people. It's clear that a lot of people are addicted to different things. Do you know that shopping has an addiction? Someone can get addicted to shopping, gambling, uh you know different things. These addictions all exist, but I'm going to be focusing on alcohol and drug abuse and sexual addiction. Do you know that I was informed that over 23 million of young adults in the United States are all having drug addiction. This is a lot of issue. The police even said that more than half of preventable road accidents that happen are as a result of alcohol abuse, over drinking, simply drinking, drunk drivers. And we also found that alcohol and drug abuse is the third cause of world highest death, preventable death. The first is actually tobacco, the second is diet and exercise, and the third is drug and alcohol abuse and sexual abuse. Drug and alcohol abuse is a serious issue in our society. It is taking lives away. It is destroying our young people and even older people. A woman called in to say she called into her pastor to say, "Oh, kindly remember my son in prayers. He's suffering an addiction." And she said, "You know what? I am having the same issue too. She's 50. She is 50. So alcohol and drug abuse, substance abuse disorder is an issue in our society today. And you know what? People who use these things, they seek satisfaction from it. But the truth is, it offers the opposite. It offers the opposite. And addiction comes in when we try to satisfy ourselves with anything but God. It's different things, things that are less than God. The truth is, addiction is one of the sins we commit against our body. And we know that the Bible tells us that many sins are committed outside the flesh, but fornication is, affects the body. Is we commit these sins with our body. Sexual abuse, drug and alcohol abuse, it's it tarnishes the temple of God. We are the temple of God, and we are told to present our bodies as weapons of righteousness unto God. But every time we are taking this substance, every time we are seeking satisfaction from these evil things, it breaks the purpose of God for our body. It does not give God room to use that body for what it is meant for. Yes, that is exactly what happens. There are people who are supposed to be different, forces in our society today, but we don't see them getting anywhere because of drug and alcohol abuse. It is destroying our society, it is destroying our young people, it is destroying our world. And that's why I said I think we need to talk about it. And it's not just when we talk of drug abuse, it's not just marijuana. It's not just you know do you know that one can actually get addicted by opioids, even prescriptive opioids? There are people who have been on prescriptive opioid, say they went into surgery and given this opioid for pain relief, and they get addicted to it. So guys, we need to be very careful. We need to be very, very careful. And how do you know that you are addicted? Just, do an analysis on yourself. Do you always crave for it more than you used to? Do you feel like you feel immediate satisfaction when you do it? Do you lie about it? Like when you do it, you can't open up about it. Yes. When you see these signs, you begin to know that addiction is setting in. It's a mental illness. It damages our brain. It damages how the brain registers pleasure. It damages our relationship. It takes away responsibility from our life. It takes away our power to make decisions. And also, look, just look at yourself. Like if you take a good look at yourself, you are an embodiment of beauty, built for pleasure for God. So, abusing your body, destroying your body, destroying your system is not God's plans for your life. And people who go into sexual, addiction, it starts small. Oh, you just want to watch that little pornography, and then tomorrow you want more, and you want more, and you want more, you want more and more and more, and that is addiction. You keep wanting more, you increase the dosage, you increase the time you do it, and then before you know it, you were deeply eaten by addiction. See, addiction is not God's plan for our life. An addictive life is not the life God wants any of us to live. God wants us to be happy, to be healthy, and to fulfill His purpose for our lives. And your addiction was never and will never be in the picture. Now, I just want to quickly speak to family members of like if you have a member in your family who is going through addiction, I just want to quickly speak to you. Don't abandon them. That is where the problem starts from. Abandonment. You don't abandon them. You encourage them to seek help. Encourage them to seek help. There are things you need to know if you have someone in your family going through addictions. First, you have to pray for them. Second, you have to encourage them to seek help. Don't abandon them. Do not. And also, find out what you can do. For instance, there are some people that some children, some young people, once they are given money, they go out to buy drugs. If you find out, now instead of giving them cash, you could give them gift cards to a restaurant. So they go there and eat, and that is it. Don't allow them have access to cash. Now, if you find out that it's as a result, like they keep a bad group of friends, you find a way to cut that group. If even if it means you leaving that vicinity totally, because I tell you all, it's a serious issue. If that child gets addicted to the point that he can't cut it out, then it's really difficult to handle. So family members, please, first pray for them. Second, encourage them to seek help, and also help them get help. There are tons of help available. Help them get help. You can send them to residence if it's serious. You can send them to residence. That's the rehab one. If it hasn't gotten to that level, you can register them, like for the 12-step program. They can start going, and you back them up with prayer, support them. And to you out there who is suffering from addiction, the first thing you need to do is to admit it. I know it's difficult to admit it because of the shame and stigma associated with it, but I tell you, if we must fight this, you need to come out clean. You need to admit it. Yes, I have a situation here. And then the next thing is for you to step out and seek other means of satisfaction. Seek happiness elsewhere. And where is that? In Jesus. You need to cultivate a life of prayer. I always say that if you can pray as aggressively as you drink, if you can pray as aggressively as you watch porn, if you can pray as aggressively as you smoke, you have to see changes in your life. It's definitely going to make difference. So you first admit it, and then you pray. You begin to pray. Ask for help. Ask for help. Don't be shy. There are tons of help available. Speak to your pastor. Speak to your parent. Speak to me. Send me a DM on my Instagram page. My name is Euphemia Orajikwe. Send me a DM. Speak to me. There are tons of help available these days. Speak to somebody. Come out. Speak to someone and get help. And then keep an active faith. Get busy for Jesus. Get busy, because if you're busy, if you're doing other things, you won't even have time to go do what is wrong. Get busy for Jesus. Church meetings, prayer meetings, get yourself involved with things that are being done by responsible people. And when you begin to do things, you're becoming responsible. People are looking up to you. Trust me, you wouldn't want to fall your hand, like we say. You wouldn't want to find yourself in a messed up situation, because that is what addiction does. It messes you up. It diminishes your image. Keep an active faith and keep praying, y'all. Prayer is the key principle to fighting addiction. It is very hard. We have seen cases where people take therapy upon therapy upon therapy. They just find themselves going back to it. But when you back it up with prayer, I tell you, there is no addiction that God cannot break. Young people, sexual addiction, pornography. Don't tell me you're just taking a peekaboo, a sneak peek. That is how it starts, and it begins to eat into your normal life until you can't control it anymore. And if you're at that point, I want you to come out. Look up to Jesus, the healer, and he would just heal. He would heal you. He would take away addiction while you still have that life. Please, I beg you, while you still have that life, before addiction takes it away from you, come out and seek help. I'll be praying for you all, and I encourage you, talk to people, seek help. There are tons of help out there. There are helplines out there. I'm gonna, post on my Instagram page. I'm gonna put out helplines and contacts for you to trace, to follow. And it's my prayer for you that gradually one day you would testify and say, after I listened, I followed the steps she gave, and today I'm a better person. Go back to school, find something to do, go get a job, get busy, look up, find recourse in God, look for interests that are not smoking, that are not drinking, that are not pornography. Look for interests, look for something you can do. What is your talent? What is your positive hobby? What can you invest your time in? Get busy for God. Start doing good in your society, helping people, so that they will start looking up to you, and it will build responsibility in you. And may God help you all and help us find joy and break addiction. It is only Him who can break it. It is only Him who can satisfy us. Marijuana cannot satisfy us. Recreational marijuana cannot satisfy. Only Jesus can. And I want you to put your faith in Him, and He will do it. Thank you everyone for being part of today's video. It's been a long time coming. I'm finally happy we've talked about it, and I'll keep you all in my prayer. Thank you so much, and don't forget to subscribe to this awesome channel. Coming your way next week again, Reflections from the Scroll. Thank you so much, and have a beautiful evening, y'all.